Hello, this is Jane Gardner, and I'm not sure if I'm broadcasting, so we'll just get started on the Let's Go Live show and record this because right now my my streaming is there. Sorry about that, but my preview is not working. This is why you never update your software just before you go live, which is what I've done, and I've found some interesting new buttons on my software that I'll be looking at for later because, well, it's just awesome if it can do what it says it's going to do, but I should test it out before I try it out on you. So today we're going to be talking about OBS software. We are actually got a demo that I did before that I'm hoping that you'll be able to listen to, so I better check while we're going to do it. But today, well, let's go for the presentation and quickly go through what we're doing today. I'm Jane Gardner. I work with my husband in a structural engineering firm, which I have to get to very soon. I have 6 broadcasting TV channels on Roku and 5 on Fire TV until they remove it. They decided they're not going to have any more free ones. So today is Let's Go Live show is creating scenes and adding sources in OBS. OBS is the free software on the internet, which is called Open Broadcast Studio, and it's at obsproject.com. And I told you that last week, so just check last week's show. But today we're going to talk about what it is constructed in, so what scenes are, how to create your first scene, adding your cameras, maybe a screen off your monitor, and audio, and keeping it simple. So we are going to look at a scene. A scene is a layout. Scenes hold sources. You only need one to start. Obviously I get complicated and do more than one because I'll be putting in my software another scene which has a broadcasted video that I did recording about behind the scenes of OBS. So we'll look at that quickly soon, and so we'll just go through these slides quickly. To create your first scene, I show you in the demo, you click in Scenes panel, you name your scene and keep it simple, and then you add a source. Sources are what appears on the screen, so it could be your camera, like your webcam. It could, and then you could put a screen share, which is what this is in a scene. It's a screen share of my presentation, and slides. Obviously, you use a screen capture to share my slides, and audio. You can always use audio as well. You can add a camera source, so you click in Sources and choose your video capture device and select your camera, which should be available there in your video capture devices because it's on your computer monitor. And then you add screen or slides, so you can use a display capture or window capture in Sources to go and capture the screen like this one of slides on my other monitor, which is another secret for easy broadcasting, is to have a second monitor with all your presentation stuff, and you just add slides if needed and resize it to fit. And then you can arrange your layout. You can drag it to resize it. You can position your camera. You can lock the sources when done so they don't move around, and you have a scenes all ready for your next presentation live. And of course you have to check your audio, watch your levels in the audio mixer. When you see the demo, you'll see green is good, avoid red, and then one scene is enough just to test it. OBS is free, so you can do it, you can use it, you can play around with it without even going live. And then you can go test it by going live on YouTube Studio and just do it for you only and keep it private, and you can test as much as you want. But you need to progress. You don't need to be perfect the first time. And as you can see, I'm never perfect, and there's always something that comes up. So common mistakes are having too many sources and too many scenes and trying to chase perfection before you actually do it. So just go do it. put a scene up, try starting it, see if it works, test it out, go check your Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, wherever you decide to set it up, and see if it worked. So next time we'll be talking about layouts, overlays, and branding, but now let's go look at my demo, and hopefully we'll have time for it before we finish 15 minutes. Hello, this is Jane-Gardner, and I haven't turned my light on, but you can see anyway, so we will get started. This is open broadcast software. I've added I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 scenes are in here at the moment, but let's just go and point out, and I'll give you some bigger pointers later. This is basically this is the way it comes when you open it up, except of course this will be blank, and these are the scenes. So on this one I have one called Studio, which is live, and which is this one. And then I have another scene which is blank, and I put an image into this scene, and I believe these are all blank as well. So let's go back to the studio. So this left-hand side, and of course you can move them around, is scenes. These are what you're going to be working with when you're broadcasting. Each scene has sources. So this is the sources that are in the studio. So there's an image, and you can turn it on and off, and you can lock it. So there, I turned it off. And then here's the video capture. I turned myself off. And then this was the movie. So that's the background that I put in there. So you can turn them off. So those are the sources for this scene. And a different scene will have a source. So this one has an image, a JPEG or a PNG. You can turn it off, and of course you can lock it on to stay on or unlock it. But let's try another scene. So here is a scene, and we want to have some sources in that scene. So you don't have any. So click the plus button below and see what we can add. So we can add an application audio capture, audio input capture, a browser. Let's try a browser. Create a new browser. So let's go, and it opens up, and it says you've just added a browser source and a web page from the internet. So they've added OBS projects. Let me add mine. And it will pop up and stay there. Hold on. Hopefully. Oh, I forgot to put my name in there. Oops. Yeah, I forgot the ending. My apologies. So you can put any browser in there in a window. There we are. And for some reason it likes to measure the distance, how big everything is. But here comes the website. And this is the website, the very top of the website of the browser. And I guess that was... So then you could add in other sources. You can add in several sources, and then you just put one on top of the other. So we could put me in there. Think, where am I? I am a video capture. There we are. Capture device. Add existing video capture. I wonder if they'll get that one. I don't think they will. So we'll have to create a new one. Actually, I'm not sure if they'll do that. Interesting to see if it works. I don't think it will. Because yeah, I've got one video already coming in. So that I can't have more than one, I would think. So we'll forget that. Turn that off. Oops. Let's try something else. Oh, I should have put in a slideshow. some VLC, a video source. So we can add a video source, which is basically a movie or any MP4. Oh, here we'll use this one since it's there. Should work. Say okay, and there it is. And of course, you can make the, let's see, we're in VLC source, and then we click the properties for the source, and hopefully it has a choice, and not like mine. Yeah, no, not like mine. Maybe it has a thing about green screen. Nope. Has properties, filters, and of course you can have it moving. Well, we didn't actually go and so in order to see the other one, you have to move it above this one. So you do up and down. And of course we can turn on and off. So let's go back to the studio and me. And then the next one is you have a scene. You put in some sources. You put in the properties of those sources up here. So you select a source image, you look at the properties, it gives you a few choices, and then you could change it, and you could have filters. Some of these things are way too much. Chroma key, oh, there's a chroma key. I should do it for that one. Let's do chroma keys. No, let's not do chroma key. Hold on. We'll do chroma key for this one. For video, no, VL. Yeah, we'll do chroma key for this one. There we go. And turn off that green screen. Name of the filter. And it's green, so now it is black. And of course you can put anything on top of that and it looks like it's in a screen, which reminds me I should open up do a PowerPoint. Where are we here? So you can add a desktop capture. I wonder where we have that. Display capture, maybe? We're always guessing. Okay, and capture method automatic. And no, we want to capture it. We want to capture with a cursor, but that didn't work. It's probably the wrong one. I usually use XSplit, so this is why I do not know what I am doing. Window capture. There we go. And select a window to capture. Okay, no, PowerPoint. There we go. PowerPoint. Yay. But of course, we don't want it that big and we don't want it to show the PowerPoint, etc. So there's another capture you can use. So anyway, that would be how. Anyway, so you can have various sources in each scene and go between each scene and to do whatever you wish to do. And you have your audio mixer, desktop audio, microphone, make sure that's the one that's working, and then scene transitions, a fade you can cut. I don't use I guess I use transitions because I'm going back and forth, but I don't really like it. And then over here is the controls for start streaming, managing your broadcast, start the recording, and then you can make choices for your virtual camera. And I did this in order to make myself smaller within my camera. I had to use this. section. And then there's studio mode. Studio mode is you have your preview studio where you can show, put all the things together and get ready to prepare to put it into the studio. And then here is the studio. This is what is being broadcast. And that's somewhat useful. And you can just click between them. And of course, settings. There's tons of settings you can use, hotkeys, accessibility, etc. And then exit. And then up here is the chat, which you can for YouTube, I believe, and your live chat will broadcast in here, and you can reply back to people who are making comments, or you can float it somewhere else as well. Yep. So hopefully that was just a few minutes. 10 minutes, that's not bad. So we'll show you that. I'll put some PowerPoints on here. I'll put some arrows on here and make this a demonstration. It shows the overall of what you can do in OBS. Obviously, to learn, I have to learn more, as well as you have to learn more and to do this. But you can do an auto configuration wizard to start up, and you can have automatic scenes switcher, and you can use hotkeys to press that when you change. You can dock them differently. And of course you can view them, the toolbars in different areas, dock them or not, and then you can have multi-view full screen, so you could have more than, I shouldn't have put that into full screen, into that's the full screen of my monitor. That doesn't work. And and so that would, let's change that back. And windowed. There's a windowed one where you can have as many screens as you want. I think I have 6 now. So that is ridiculous. So you can change it back to studio mode, away from studio mode. This is in the studio, but of course you will see this one being broadcast, and you will just have this one, and you can turn those measurements off if you wish at any point. Turn on the sound. How many mistakes have I done today? Yeah, so I turned off the sound because you could hear me breathing if you were watching that recording. So that recording is actually not bad, and I might use it again for another episode, but part of it anyway. But yeah, that's what scenes are all about. XSplit is another one that is similar to that. It has the same kind of idea. And when we go and talk about XSplit, we'll show you a demo of that. But for now, I'm just going to mention that if you want to learn more about, we'll be doing layouts, overlays, and branding. And then, of course, get on my list at jane-gardner.com/live in order to get notification on when the next show is, what I'm doing, and getting some checklists, etc. And this book, 7 Steps to Produce Your First Show, which I will be updating for the 2026 edition. You can get it if you